All praise to the Creator of justice. Blessings on those who are seeking justice for themselves and for others. Thank the supporters and subscribers in Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, Mississippi, Texas, Virginia, Chicago, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Oregon, and California, and all other places that are represented today on the Church Talk Unlimited channel. Hello, it is Saturday, October 14th, 2023, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Welcome to Church Talk Unlimited with James Paul Berry. Today we are going to talk about weak leaders and pimping preachers. This topic is inclusive of us all who are adults. So I'm speaking to all of us in the sense that we all are leaders or preachers or both. One definition of a leader is the principal player in the group or a group, the one or ones running things, fathers and mothers in the home, rearing their children. They are the leaders, raising their children, teaching and training boys and girls. Based on science, if a boy has XY sex chromosomes and is not interfered with, he will grow up to be a man. If a girl has XX sex chromosomes, according to science, and she is not interfered with, will grow up to be a woman. To do less for our girls and boys as parents is a sign of weak leadership. Politicians, Democrats or Republicans, doesn't really matter overall. But ironically, Donald Trump says he will stop the mutilation of our children without our permission, that is, parental permission, immediately if he is elected president of the United States of America again. Donald Trump, who has been indicted over 80 times, says if he is elected to the presidency of the United States of America for the second term, that he will stop the illegal immigration immediately if he's elected. And I remember before he said he would build a wall, and he tried, and people called him insensitive, but we have been taught that we ought to begin at home showing love and then spread abroad. We need people to look after people who are here right now, who are living out on the streets, who are legally in America. Now, we all have faults, according to the Bible, but in the church, we sure don't act like it. We church folk act as if it's all good when it's not. Tell me if I'm lying. Women ruling over men now, disrespectfully. Women who are academically well educated, earn lots of money, are well respected throughout the community, but based on the Bible and other religious dogma, and based on the traditions of our communities, the women do not get to tell their husband what to do simply because they earn more money. This is weak leadership. And weak leadership go hand in hand with pimping preachers. Acts chapter 20, verse 28, the Apostle Paul has been written of as calling elders from, I believe it's from Ephesus, to meet him. And when he met with them, one of the things he said to them was, feed the church of God. This was the responsibility of the elders of the church, to make sure that the church was fed, not just physically fed with bread and water, but with whatever nourishment it needed to survive and thrive. But weak leaders don't offer food for growth so that you will thrive. They offer scripture and rhetoric. Scripture is good in its place. Rhetoric is good in its place. But James said faith without work is dead. So there has to be some results coming about from this rhetoric and these scripture that these weak leaders and pimping preachers often offer. When it comes to saving the lives of the members of these churches and of these organizations who need the most help, ongoing help, rhetoric and scripture ain't gonna be enough. It used to be fine to just hear somebody quoting biblical Bible verses, but just trust in the Lord and lean not to your own understanding. Sometimes it takes money, and that's one of the things that I talk about on this channel is church money. Church money being used to help the people in the church who are not doing well. Not just the preachers all the time, but the people who actually need the help. And I'm not talking about being fools, but I am talking about spending serious money on a serious situation. And that's when folks are so poor that they're not able to take care of themselves. But the church is rich. The church has a treasury with millions of dollars in it. The church owns millions of dollars of property. And the church can afford to help those who are in need. I'm not talking about greedy folks like preachers, but I'm talking about needy folks. One version of a pimp was also, the synonyms were procuring and pandering. This was in Wikipedia. And it says, procuring, pimping, or pandering is the facilitation or provision of a prostitute or other sex worker in the arrangement of a sex act with a customer. A procurer or procurer, colloquially called a pimp if male, or a madam if female, though the term pimp has still extensively been used for female procurers as well, or a brothel keeper, is an agent for prostitutes who collect parts of their earnings. The procurer may receive this money in return for advertising services, physical protection, or for providing and possibly monopolizing a location where the prostitute may solicit clients. Weak leaders and pimping preachers. One biblical writer said concerning the church that the leaders, they make merchandise of you. Jesus called some hirelings. In other words, they do what they do towards you because they're getting paid. Not because they love you, but because they're getting paid. Weak leaders and pimping preachers. We are everywhere. Politicians in Chicago are spending millions of dollars on illegal migrants, putting them up in places where there are homeless people already. And you're going to bring people to the country illegally and spend on them. How is this possible? Chicago, like Los Angeles, is a sanctuary city. So no matter how much Mayor Bass and the city council allocates for the homeless population of Los Angeles, they will not be able to house the homeless population of Los Angeles and the ever increasing numbers of the illegal immigrants coming into Los Angeles, because the Biden administration says we have open borders. So they're not going to stop anyone. So people can come across and they can find asylum in America. And you and I know that right now we don't have enough room. Where are the leaders for the Americans? People are still being laid off from their jobs. People's houses are still being foreclosed on. People are still being jacked up with student loans. We're involved in a war in Ukraine. We're involved in a war in Israel. And who knows where else? Where are the leaders for the Americans who are willing to stand up and say, everybody stay home, stay in your own country? We don't have enough room for everyone. Why don't we go to war with leaders of countries that don't take care of their poor people? Why do we let them slide? We, in this world, particularly those of us who are religious in these churches, we are living under a spell of words. And some of those words have been used to create the illusion that our preachers are closer to God than anyone else. So we believe, we feel that we need them to remind us of our responsibilities towards God, including paying them for constantly reminding us. But ironically, they don't think this way about all of the preachers. It's just about certain ones and them and their friends. The pimps and the hoes are reported to be sharing some of the monies earned by the prostitutes with the prostitutes. In other words, there are some pimps who are looking out for the welfare of the prostitutes, making sure they're safe, making sure that they have medical treatment, making sure that they get paid properly and things like that. And when I looked at that, and these are from facts, you can look it up in Wikipedia. When I looked at that and I said, well, why is it that the pimps share some of the money, some of the wealth with the prostitutes, with the hoes, but the preachers don't want to share some of the monies with the members of the churches? Money that was earned by those members, money that were earned and brought to the members, to the church leaders, and left in their hands. And when they need these monies, why can't those preachers share some of that money? Speak up for them. These poor members of churches who have been faithful, not just any members, but members who have been faithful for years, struggling to make ends meet while the preachers lived well and are still living well, but they don't fight for others to live well in the church the way they do by using church money. Why not? Many of them use church money to go to school, to do different things, graduate schools, and that's okay. But I'm saying spread the wealth around in the church. Don't pimp the church for yourself. If you're going to pimp, one definition of pimp was putting the people together. So if you're going to pimp, just pimp for all of us. We all benefit from the wealth of the church. Until next time, I wish you justice. You may contact me via email at theoriginalchurchtalk@gmail.com. You may leave comments in the comment section of my previously recorded videos, or you may leave a comment in the live chat right now. I will be online for a little while longer. As I go over to the live chat, I see that Sister Bunny is there and Brother Willie is there. And so I'm going to see what they have to say about this topic. And if you have something that you would like to add, feel free to do so. If not, God bless you until the next time. Blessings to all, brother. Blessings to you as well. Good afternoon to you, sis. When we send all the aid abroad, don't expect any help because we feel so superior. We show ourselves truly as foolish. Indeed, we do, brother. And we learned this lesson when we were My Lord, when we were in diapers, and to love at home first. Charity begins at home and spreads abroad. And I just wonder, what do politicians have to gain in ignoring the poor in America, but they're reaching out to Ukraine and to Israel? And I don't have anything against Ukraine or Israel, but I definitely don't have anything against the people who live around the block who cannot afford to live inside. And it's not that they are bad people or any worse than me or you or anybody else. They just don't have enough money. So if we can come up with enough money to house illegal immigrants, to send weaponry to Ukraine, and to send assistance to Israel, we should be able to help our own people. Well, that's all I have to say for today about this topic. And I hope that is doing somebody some good. And to those of you who are out there listening and you are afraid to speak up and ask questions, I understand. I do. I understand. I don't make light of this situation, but as I said, people are under a spell of words that have been used to dilute the truth, to deflate the importance of people being common, people having things in common, not anybody being allowed to think that they are superior to anybody or inferior to anybody, but that we are all in this together. We don't have equal roles, but our roles are equally important. God willing, I'll see you next time. God bless you.